afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Ham Radio Basics Live, Season 3, Episode 10, Ham Radio News and Updates, 3/12/2025. Wow, it's already the middle of March. It's absolutely, positively crazy. Cooley, welcome. Good to see you, UTV and Ham. Good to see you as well, too. Oh, that's great, UTV and Ham. That's fantastic. Lots of benefits with ARRL. Don't let people talk you out of it. They have their issues, but, you know, they're the best thing in town. Okay, and I'm gonna re-promote. I did early on when I started the channel. I did a promotional video on ARRL, just some basic introductory videos, and that was one of them, along with all the benefits, because I know a lot of people have had questions about ARRL. It really does answer a lot of them. Now, as an organization, it doesn't talk about. It talks about mostly about the benefits that you get as a ham radio operator. So it's worth the watch, I'll tell you that. But that's a good thing. I'm glad to see that you did that here. Got a few things I'm considering purchasing, and I wanted to kind of we'll go over what's on my Twitter timeline coming up here. But I wanted to spend a few minutes on that because I thought got some pretty interesting things out here. And I did note, and this was real interesting. I got an email from Radio Oddity. I'm on their email list, and one of the radios that they had put out there. And see, the first thing I do is when Radio Oddity has a radio for sale, I'll go out on Amazon to see if they have it out there. Well, sure enough, they do, and it is the Baofeng K5 Plus, and it really has a lot of features. It's a nice color display on there. You can take a look at tri-band, NOAA weather, of course, their wonderful flashlight, the antenna, FM radio on there, and a 1.7-inch screen. 2 seconds copy frequency, which sounds really nice to be able to do that. And there's 10 NOAA weather stations on here as well. And the price is very right. So I think that's going to end up being in my in basket here. And I think we're going to go ahead and get that and take this for a run here. And that's the wonderful thing about these radios. You can go ahead, get them on Amazon, and if they work for you, that's absolutely fantastic. And one of the things in conjunction with that, and I think it's something that I think every ham should get, is a spectrum analyzer, the Tiny SA Ultra, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at that. That's definitely in my cart, and I think that's something we're going to go ahead and take a look at here. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now here it is. And there's one that does, and I recommend getting the one with the 50-watt attenuator with it too. That way, so when you're testing your radios, you don't have any issues, with, basically blowing your radio up. But there's the best videos on these I've seen. TO's done some great videos on these, and Smoking Ape has done some great video on these. So if you're wanting a video to go and to learn how to use these and how to set them up, TO and Smoking Ape did a great job with these. It's something I would highly recommend that you guys take a look at. The price is really good, $199, and you get the attenuator with it as well too. And this is an upgraded version. And one thing that Steve TO has pointed out is you need to get the ones from CSI. I'm going to try to pronounce it, because there are some aftermarket ones that aren't as good, and they're basically ripoffs. This is the real deal. This is the one that you want to get, and it's something I would say without a doubt, if you run HT radios, you need to have this. Okay. And basically, if you're new to ham radio and you don't know, it's basically, you want to test for spurious emissions, and because you don't want to be bleeding out, you don't want to be talking over people on other channels. Okay. And these spectrum analyzers do a absolutely fantastic job. I mean, it used to be back in the day, before these were even around, you would have to go to a laboratory, and these things were like thousands of dollars. And now you can get it for less than $200. This is just absolutely fantastic. So it's one of these things that I think should be in your ham radio tool chest, so to speak. Because all of us love HTs, and that's one of the things I'm going to start doing is after I get this, I'm going to test all the HTs that I have, and then I'm going to be getting some of these HTs, some of these Baofungs, and test them out. And what I'm going to end up doing with them is we'll just go ahead and have a giveaway for these. So it's a win-win. You guys will win. I can't. I have three HTs right now, and it's good. I probably can get a fourth, but that's where I'm at. But I want to get these in. I want to test them, and I want to make sure some of the popular radios. I want to get some of the popular radios out there so you guys can take a look and see what it's like for spurious emissions from these. And compare it to say like my Yaesu FTD5R. So and see how that is. And I think it'll really shed some light on some things. I think when you compare them to the two, and we're going to do that. I'm going to do an unboxing video with this and a setup video. And then we're going to take a look, and I'm going to test my radios. And then I'm going to be buying some radios, some of the Baofungs, and we'll take a look and see how they are on the spurious emission scale and see how things are. And one of the things too, a lot of people will say, well, that kind of like, you just don't even consider Baofungs. Well, you can consider it to listen to, okay? Some of the ones do have some spurious emissions, and we'll go over that when I do the video and everything, and that are way over the line, but some are borderline, some are close. So we'll take a look at that. I think it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I think you guys will really enjoy it. So, got something else here that I wanted to share with you. I received a inquiry, and they're sending these to me, and I don't have them yet. And these are POC link radios, and basically these work over cellular networks. Okay, they come with a SIM card in there, and they're talking like from everything I've asked them, there's really no fees and no setup involved with this, as far as I know right now. So we'll see how this goes. I'm waiting to get these in. No monthly fees ever, it says here. Easy to connect, easy to use. And I did see a video out there on YouTube of a gentleman. He was talking to his wife 15 miles away. It's really a lot like the old Nextel type of cell phones. To be able to talk and connect. It's kind of walkie-talkie-ish kind of a thing. I'm going to, obviously I'm getting this to review. So we'll take a look and see how this is. I'm very hopeful for this, but I think the one thing in this again too is if the cellular network is down, these are doorstops. Okay, they're not really going to be useful. But I think in an interim, and having something like this may be good, because some cellular networks might be down, other ones might still be up. So we're going to take a look at it and see how this works. I'm really kind of excited about that. One of our good, Mike K at MRD, it goes by ham radio tube right now. He just reviewed another radio here, and I wanted to go ahead and bring that up and share that with you guys. I think this looks, I watched it, and it's a good review. This is a good radio, and it's the VGC N76 dual band handheld radio. It's 122. This is just, it's 188.90. Okay, here in the U.S. There's different color options you can get. Next level communication. It's waterproof. AM and FM. 16 channels in one group, total 12 groups. Bluetooth with it, remote control, offline maps, downloads offline maps through our apps, allowing easy location viewing without network access. Morse code transmission, SSTV image reception, global connectivity, network communication. This is benefits of AVP over VR N76. So this is a radio that's definitely worth a look at. The company's name again is Vero, and it's called the VR N76 dual band handheld radio. I think that's something you should probably put in your list and consider this. I think this is something worth taking a look at. Definitely watch Mike's video on this. It's a great video. You'll spend a few minutes. I think you'll learn quite a lot on that. All right, we're gonna take a look and see what I got out here on Twitter. I still call it Twitter. I don't think Elon would be real happy about that, but that's kind of the way things are. All right. Well, some lucky gentleman got his first FT-891 from R&L Electronics today. So, and as I said, somebody brought a good box home. Every time you walk through the door with a good box like this, it's a good day. So, and he's looking to find out what kind of antennas he's going to get. And, there's there are dozens and dozens of options of antennas that'll work well with this, depending on if you want to use it as a base at home, if you want to use it doing POTA or outside, or if you want to use it in your vehicle. There are all kinds of options with this. It's a great radio, and I'm going to kind of side with Jason from Ham Radio 2.0 on this. It really is a great radio, but the menu system here, Yaesu really needs to, that's why I wish in my wish list of things, I wish they would do another version of an FT-891 with a bigger screen, number one, and number two, with an easier menu system. I know some of the newer radios, some of the newer mobile ones have a much easier menu system. The menu system on this is really kind of deep and intense, and you need to get one of those cheat sheets anytime that you're using that. So, oh, okay, Cooley, that's good. That's good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I know what you're talking about with that one. I know. I'm hoping that works. I'm hoping that works. But yeah, with the FT-891, congratulations to him. That's awesome. And there I am. I talk about the Baofeng K5 Plus, and I'm so ready for this. That's the Yaesu FTX1F. We're going to talk about that. I posted this last week. 5 watts into the void, the gift of QRP. Gentleman who's set up in his apartment with a loop antenna doing QRP, which is interesting here. Raspberry Pi set up with a keyboard and a mouse right there, and looks like somebody set up a antenna next to a Cybertruck right there. And this is good. ICOM America, King County Search and Rescue has over 600 trained volunteers who respond to search. Watch how KCSAR team makes an impact here. And that's all, that's one of the good things. I think, it's good to see them promoting activities like this and having all these kind of volunteers. Obviously, that's a big county. I don't know where this is at, but that's a big county, and it's great to have all these volunteers to be able to go in and help when there's a disaster. So I think that's fantastic. New antenna up today. Got some SWRs to do now and get it tuned. So that's very interesting. That looks like a good antenna. So good luck. All right. And then I really like this radio, Vero VGC VR N76. Mike from K8MRD has a video on it. It's definitely something you want to watch. Jason has a really good video, and it's on 3 reasons ham radio nets are dying. I'll let you watch the video. I won't tell you what they are, but one of the things that you kind of have to remember here, when nets got started, and a lot of ham radio before social media, okay, and a lot of the, I'll call older ham radio operators, they're not real keen on social media, and I think in order to grow this, I'm kind of leading you on to one of these. In order to grow like nets, you got to promote it on social media. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, and there's no way around it. That's something that you got to do, because if you're out there in this day and age and you want to grow your, for me, I grow my channel, obviously, I get out there on social media and let everybody know about, when I post videos, or, there's something interesting out here to let you guys know about. But it's the same way with nets too. And then you also got to make these nets interesting, okay? You can't be talking about your grandson's baseball game or your granddaughter's recital all the time. Talk about things that are going to be interesting to the community. For example, there's going to be it's Lent. There's going to be a fish fry at this church. Let's all maybe get together there, next Friday and go to something like that. Talk about events for the community, not on an individual basis. I think that's one of the things that people get lost in. And also, too, I think it's also good for Nets to talk about latest things that are going on with ham radio. For example, something like what I'm doing out there, ham radio news and updates. If there is some genuine news out there, to talk about it during these Nets, to get out there, to get people to know. Because it kind of gets lost out there. And a lot of people, like I said, a lot of the older hams, they're not out on social media. They don't find out about a lot of these things. But if you can get some of this information out on a net, I think it would be great. So these are just a couple of the areas. But Jason has a good video out there. It's definitely something you want to watch because, I think as the torch is being passed from a lot of these older hams to us, and I say that, and I'm in my mid 60s, as being, I'm quote, a younger ham, so to speak. But I think it's a good idea to make sure that, we take stock of what we have and make sure that it continues. And this is something you definitely want to do something like that with nets. Okay. Nets are very beneficial. They do have a great place. For example, I used one during our last hurricane, which is absolutely fantastic. And I checked in, the community that I'm in to say, there's no real, other than trees and limbs down, we're doing pretty good kind of a thing. So, they are beneficial. They do provide a lot of useful information. It's, watch the video and you can get some ideas on helping, if you participate in a local net, on making them better and getting more people involved in them. So I said my 3 cents worth there. Okay. I bought a cheap $30 antenna. Is it any good? And that, I love seeing these kind of videos out there because, it really kind of lends perspective to things because, everybody wants to get the $500 antenna from Chameleon or another one from Alpha Antennas, and spend, $750,000. And you don't always necessarily don't need to do something like that. So definitely watch this video. I think it's a good one. I think he does a good job with it. It kind of gives you some, and again, it lends some perspective to you guys to help you understand, you don't have to go out there and spend $500 to get a good antenna. You really don't. A lot of times, a lot of my best antennas are under $100. So that's kind of where things are with that. Then again, here's the Tiny SA Ultra Spectrum Analyzer on Amazon. Again, these links are out there. And, if this is something you're interested in, definitely, I would highly recommend getting that. This is the best one that's out there. It also, and I failed to mention earlier, it has an SD card that what you can do with the SD card, it records it does like a screen recording. And then you could use that when you're putting a video together. And that's what, like T.O. and Smoke and Ape, that's what they did when they put the videos together. And they could show you exactly what they were doing at that time and talk through that. So that's another thing that I forgot to mention about that. But yeah, I think this is really good. If you're into HTs, this is something you should definitely take a look at and get interested in. 74 today. This is one of my favorite times of the year here in Tampa, although it gets a little on the windy side, so it's not so good for my drone hobby. But the temperatures are right now, these are some what I call golden months, especially March, April, and May, because it's before this oppressive humidity sets in down here, and it's really nice outside. It's really nice to go out for walks. It's not humid. It's not oppressive, because when June and July hit and August hit, look out, okay? It's like you just want to go from your air-conditioned car to your air-conditioned work to your air-conditioned car back to your home, air-conditioned home, and maybe to an air-conditioned restaurant. I mean, you don't want to be outside during a lot of the stretch when it gets super hot and super gross out here. Oh, that's awesome, Cooley. That's fantastic. Now this, I'm actually gonna go ahead and play this here.
Ay, Dios mío.
And I'll leave the sound up. This was a tornado that passed through Orlando.
Ay, Dios mío. Ay, Dios mío. Ay, Dios mío. Dios santo. Dios santo.
That's just absolute insanity. How they got trapped out there like that and that they're okay. Wow. I mean, that car was really rattling and shaking and everything. So, um, this is a fantastic video. I really like Michael Martins a lot. He does absolutely fantastic videos out there. He and his friend installed not one but two FT-891s in a car, and you need to watch this video. It's fantastic. The setup, how they did things, the antenna, everything. Take a look at it. I mean, I was really impressed with that. Oh wow, that's fantastic, UTV and Ham. That's great. Um, that's great to hear. Hopefully, spring's around the corner and we're done with that W word. I'm not even going to mention it. So, yeah. But no, you definitely need to take a look at this video from Michael. He absolutely he and his friend, installing this here. It was in a pickup. Take a look at it and watch it. I mean, it's an object lesson. I mean, putting one radio in is a challenge enough. A mobile transceiver. Putting two in, okay, and antennas and cables and everything. Take a look at it. Okay, that's all I'm going to tell you. It's really worth your watch. Michael, as always, does a great job on these videos. You need to watch it. I think it's great. I really enjoyed that. TO put together, I think it's almost 48, not quite 50 minutes long, an FT8 guide featuring the Yaesu FT-100D. He covers everything from A to Z here. And it really, if you're looking to get into FT8, this is a great primer for you. This is probably your number one reference source right here. TO does a great job. Oh wow, okay, that's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, are you turning 66? Because I'm 66. It's a great age. Trust me, okay? Anything is great. Anything is great as long as you're on this side of the dirt. Okay, that's what I've always told my wife. You're doing well as long as you're on this side of the dirt. But no, this FT8 guide from TO is absolutely fantastic. Will really help you out if you've never delved into FT8. If you want to find out about it, he does an exceptional job on that. And one of the nice things that I really like about a lot of these guys, just want to take a step back. Like, I've emailed a lot of these guys. Like, I've emailed Jason, I've emailed Josh, I've emailed Steve TO, I've emailed Mike K at MRD, a lot of other guys. To get to get them. Oh, that's great, absolutely fantastic. That's great, Cooley. That's absolutely fantastic. You guys look great. Email, that's one of the nice things is so many of the ham radio guys out here on YouTube are very approachable, and I've had, like I said, I've asked Steve questions, I've asked Jason questions, Josh, Mike from K and MRD, Smoking Eight. These guys are great. They'll get back to you. A lot of times their email address, you can find it on their YouTube About Me page and be able to contact them. But also, if you can't find a way to contact them, you might want to try, if they're out on Twitter, send them a message out on Twitter to do that if you have a question for them. They have been, yes, I hear you, UTV and Ham. Absolutely, absolutely. It's great that they come back and they're responsive and they will help you out. So that's something I highly recommend here. And this was fantastic. I just thought about. I saw this today. It says, if you could sit on this bench and chat for 1 hour with anyone, past or present, who would it be? It was so easy for me. I mean, I love my mom. Don't get me wrong here, okay? But I said my dad. He was my best friend, an incredible role model. So miss his advice and words of wisdom. He was part of the greatest generation. They fought in World War II, aboard a aircraft carrier. Just heart and soul. Miss him to pieces. Just absolutely. He really set the bar for me, and he set a high bar for me, especially as a grandfather. I don't think I'll ever pass up him being a grandfather. The way he was to my kids, oh my gosh, my kids had it so incredibly good. Now I think we're doing a pretty good job with our granddaughters, but my dad, wow, is absolutely best. I wanted to go ahead and share that here. Very interesting. I got approached by a company called POC Link to test their two-way radios, and these are a lot like Nextel radios here. And I think I'd gone over this earlier here, but they're coming in the mail. I should be getting them any day now. So be on the lookout for a video. I'm going to do that. Obviously, I'm going to give one to my wife when she goes into the office and see how well they work. I can't really test it beyond that, but we'll take a look and see. We'll see how this goes. So I'm really kind of excited about that one here. So, and then Yaesu FT-3185Rasp. Should I reserve one? Okay, they're still out for reservations. There's been no news about them coming in. I thought for sure we would start to be hearing something in the month of March, but all's quiet on the Western Front here. Haven't heard a thing about that. So really kind of anxious to see how that pans out. It's a lot thinner, I think, than the 705. I've taken a look at some of the videos of it, especially from the Tokyo Ham Fair back in last August. Anxious to see how it stacks up against the 705. 705 is kind of a gold standard for me for QRP. I'll tell you that. It's really hard to beat that radio. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So that's basically all I have for today, guys. Thanks for bearing with me. I know I was a couple minutes late and jumping in here, but you guys are great in the chat, Cooley, UTV, and Ham. And thank all you guys for watching. I really appreciate that. Gonna be cranking out some videos coming up here. I've been super busy with work. I mean, wall to wall, bell to bell, been crazy busy. But I'm gonna have some time. I got some weekends coming up. We're gonna take a look at those POC links that are coming. Going to get that Baofeng in. We're going to test that out. Going to be getting a tiny SA Ultra Analyzer and be able to test some of the radios out. So I'll be cranking out some videos coming up here on a regular basis. So want to thank you guys so much. Got some great weather to look forward to, but also too, I saw there's a storm alert. So if you're like in the Midwest, got some pretty nasty storms coming up. UTV in hand, you're welcome. I like I said, I appreciate you and Cooley. Everybody that tunes in, everybody that watches, thanks you. I really appreciate that. You guys choose to spend some time with me, whether it's live or on the replay. I see a lot of people do watch these shows, and I really appreciate that a lot. Just make sure you hit that like button. That's all I ask when you guys are done. As always, guys, it's a great day to make a QSO. 7-3s, everyone. Have a great rest of your week, everybody.